Good afternoon, boys and girls. We're at the TCAT Center here in Harriman with Sparky to do a little read-along with you today. We want to thank Miss Angela and the crew here for inviting us out to come out here with Sparky. We got a really exciting book today here. It's called Curious George at the Firefighters. It's by Margaret and H.A. Rays. Sparky, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Brad. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Did you have a good weekend?
Oh, yeah. I had a great weekend.
Well, that's always good to hear.
Yeah, I didn't get no fleas, so that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, that is a positive thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Curious George here.
Ooh.
Have you ever met Curious George before?
Not that I know of.
Oh, he's a fun animal to be around. And see, plus he likes firemen here, so.
Oh, he does. I see that now.
We're going to get to reading this here. Curious George and the Firefighters. Says here, Fire Station 3. This is George.
This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George and his friend, the man with the yellow hat, joined Mrs. Gray and her class on the field trip to the fire station.
Oh.
Ooh.
Has Curious George been to your fire station? Your firehouse?
No.
He ain't? Well, maybe you need to. Have you ever invited him?
No, I haven't.
Well, maybe we need to send an invite out. And that way y'all can get a group picture together.
I think that'd be a great idea.
I think it'd be a great idea. Okie doke.
Oh. The fire chief was waiting for them right next to a big red fire truck. Hey, I know where them things are.
A fire truck?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Welcome, he said, and he led everyone upstairs to begin their tour. There was a kitchen with a big table, and there were snacks for everyone. The fire chief told them all about being a firefighter. George tried hard to pay attention, but there were so many things for a little monkey to explore, like the shiny silver pole in the corner.
Uh-oh. Well, you know, Sparky, there's some stations that don't use them fire poles anymore.
Now, I noticed that, Brad.
Because when the firemen slide down them, they've been having a lot of injuries, but
yeah,
they're just trying to look out for the firefighter safety. And there's the firehouse there. Sparky, I don't see your bed in this picture. Where's your bed at?
Well, that's a good question. I should have a bed there.
Is it out in the doghouse? I mean. Well,
it probably is.
Okay. Well, we just want to make sure you've got a place to sleep at.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You can get rested up.
Yeah.
Sleep is vital to firefighters.
Oh, yeah, can't be tired. Alrighty, let's see here. Why it went back downstairs. There was the great big fire truck. There was a map of the city, and there was a whole wall full of coats and hats and big black boots. Hey, I got a hat.
You get a big old hat, don't you?
Yeah. George had an idea. First he stepped into a pair of boots. Next he picked up a helmet. Oh no.
Like yours.
Like mine.
Yeah.
And finally George put on a jacket. He was a firefighter.
Oh.
And then suddenly, bring, bring, bring.
Uh-oh, what happened there?
Sounds like an alarm went off.
Man, an alarm went off. So, Sparky, why do firefighters have to wear all this gear?
To protect them, Brad.
To protect them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta protect this big noggin, too.
Well, you gotta protect your head.
Yeah.
Things might fall on it.
Yeah, that's true. The firefighters all rushed in. This is not my helmet, said one of them. My boots are too big, said another. Hurry, hurry, call the fire chief. A bright red light on the map of the city told him just where the fire was. There was no time to waste.
No. Gotta be on time, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You gotta be fast, but you gotta do it in a safe manner.
Exactly.
One by one, the firefighters jumped into the fire truck, and so did George. Oh, he's sneaking off to the fire truck.
Sneaking off to the fire truck.
Oh.
But now, Sparky, something I noticed on Curious George book here, where are the firefighters riding at? Do they still let them ride on the outside like that?
Oh, no, that's not safe at all.
It's not anymore.
No.
No. Got to ride inside the cab where they're secure.
That's right. The fire truck with all the firefighters sped out of the firehouse, and so did George. The siren screamed and the lights flashed. The truck turned red, the truck turned right, then it turned left. Woo, 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 went the whistle, and George held on tight. Oh, you better hold on tight.
You better hold on tight.
Yeah. Looks like they're going pretty fast.
Now, do you sound like that when you hear sirens?
No, I sound more like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, you don't hold your head out the window when you're riding in a fire truck and do that, do you?
Oh, no.
No.
Plus, my head's a little too big to fit out the window, Brad.
Yeah, well, and it's a safety issue too, ain't it?
Yes, it is. Very. And just like that, the fire truck and all the firefighters pulled up to a pizza parlor. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
And it's on Main Street, too.
I hope they wasn't cooking our pizza.
I hope not.
Oh, we don't
I don't
want
like it
pizza.
burnt.
No.
Smoke was coming out of the window in the back, and a crowd was gathering in the street. Thank goodness you're here, cried the cook. The firefighters rushed off the truck and started unwinding their hoses. They knew just what to do, and George was ready to help. He climbed up on the hose reel.
Yeah. We don't want our pizza burnt.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
a lot of smoke right there. They ought to be able to get in there and get that out pretty quick.
Well, I hope so,
That
Brad.
way to save everybody's pizza, make everybody happy.
Oh, that's right.
Because, hey, when people are hungry, they might get upset, might they?
Just a little
We
bit.
don't want nobody upset. We want to make sure that they be able to eat.
One of the firefighters saw George trying to help, and he took George by the arm and led him out of the way. A fire is no place for a monkey, he said to George. You stay here where it's safe. George felt terrible. Oh, poor monkey.
He just wanted to help, didn't he?
I think you did too,
He just
Brad.
wanted to help his friends out.
Yeah. George sat on the bench and looked around. Next to him on the ground was a bucket full of balls. George reached in and took one out. It fit in his hand just right, like the apple he had for a snack.
Well, let's hope he don't eat that
I
baseball.
hope he don't throw it.
Oh, no. We don't want him to throw it and hit somebody.
I hope not. A little girl was watching George. He tried to give her the ball, but she was too frightened. George took another ball and another. Look, a boy said, that monkey is juggling. I can't even do that.
You can't juggle balls?
No.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, my paws are too big.
Okay.
Yeah. The boy took a ball from the cage and tossed it to George, but it went too high. George climbed up onto the fire truck to get it. I thought he was supposed to stay away from the fire truck.
Well, that's what they told him to, didn't it? He
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be around the fire truck. He had to stay away. But, well, he was trying to help that kid out and get his ball back.
I guess that's why they call him curious.
Well, that probably is.
Probably, yeah.
That's a good explanation.
Now George had 4 balls to juggle. He threw the balls higher and higher. He juggled with his hands. He juggled with his feet. He could do all kinds of tricks. The boy threw another ball to George. George threw a ball back to the boy. The little girl reached down and picked up a ball, too. Soon all the children were throwing and catching back and forth.
Look like they're having a good time there with George and Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he'll stay out of the way of the firemen.
Well, I hope so, Brad. He might get hurt.
Well, he might get hurt. I think he's having a good time now. He's enjoying himself. So.
Oh, he's back on the fire truck again.
Yeah, Chief's talking to him. He may be in trouble.
Oh, that's no good. The fire chief came to tell everyone that the fire was out. Okay, he just came over to say the fire was out. Just then, the little girl laughed and said, "Look, Mommy, a fire monkey." "Hey," called the fire chief, "what are you doing up there?" "What a wonderful idea," the little girl's mother said to the fire chief, "bringing this brave little monkey to help children when they're frightened." "Oh," the fire chief said, "well, thank you."
So he actually helped the children out because they were scared, because that was one of the worstest times probably of their life, you know.
That's probably right.
So Curious George just took the fire off their mind and played a little ball with them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, then he was a help, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he was. Before long, the fire truck was back at the firehouse, where a familiar voice called George. It was the man with the yellow hat. "The little monkey had quite an adventure," said one of the firefighters. "Is everyone all right?" asked Mrs. Gray. "Yes, it was just a small fire, and the fire chief and George was a big help. Now the field trip was coming to an end, but there was one more treat in store." Oh, no. I wonder what that is.
I don't know. We're fixing to find out, aren't we?
Oh yeah, here we go. All the children got to take a ride around the neighborhood on the shiny red fire truck, and they each got their own fire helmet. Even George. It was just like the right size for a brave little monkey.
Well, the kids enjoyed that, didn't they?
Oh, I enjoyed
They had
this
an
one,
exciting
Brad.
time.
Oh yeah.
Kids always enjoy coming and visit the fire station, or when we're out eating, we give them fire helmets.
Oh, yeah, they love it. Makes me happy.
Makes you happy.
Yes,
Well,
it
that's
does.
good. Well, Sparky, we want to thank you for taking time out today to come read for the kids today. We hope that they've enjoyed it. So
I enjoyed it too, Brad.
hope you have a good day. If you eat some pizza, maybe it won't be burned. So,
I hope not.
well, let's hope not. Thank you for coming out, Sparky, and taking your time to read to the children today.
You're welcome, Brad, anytime.